you've chucked this up here for us to talk about. What is a sweep?
Yeah.
What is a sweep? What is a sweep, GG?
Okay, so I need some help from my fellow listeners here, and please put it in the chat. So my understanding has been that if you say what's happened this weekend where the Sydney Sirens beat the Brisbane Lightning and got 2 victories, that's a sweep. If they had done that without needing overtime, it would be a clean sweep because they took away all the points. And the Sydney Sirens posted out on their socials that they had swept the weekend. And I likewise referred to in my article about the Sydney Sirens sweeping the Lightning. So my question to you, the viewers, is what is your definition of a sweep? Does what Sydney did to Brisbane this weekend qualify as a sweep? We need the Jeopardy music or something going on here while we wait for people to answer.
Well, the air will go out very quickly if no one decides to put anything in the chat.
Well, Danielle King is also curious. So the people interested in this are 3, unless you're not, Andrew, in which case it's 2. At least 2.
Well, do you want?
Curtis Klooster, I'd say Sweet would be taking all the points. I don't like that comment for this, but I do need to respect you are in a better position than me to know that. So that's a good comment.
Does the definition of a sweep?
Yes, Graham Hyde. Yes, I agree with Gigi. You have a sweep, then you have a clean sweep.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, does the definition change when it's a postseason? So, like you could, if you're a sweep's a sweep, isn't it? So, like if you have a series, say Toronto, Calgary, GG, a 4-game series during the season. So, and say Calgary, which they probably would, they'd win all 4. But one of them's a OT win. It would still be called a sweep, I would assume, because in the playoffs, in a 7-game series, if either team wins 4, it's just a sweep. It doesn't matter what they win. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it goes to.
Yeah, but there's no points in the playoffs. I did think about that, and I was like, yeah, there's no points in the playoffs in OT. So I was kind of flummoxed, and I Googled it. I even spent 10 minutes looking up on the UNSW Academic Library to try to find if someone had written a paper on what is a sweep and what is a clean sweep, and no one could tell me. Here we are, Curtis Klooster. When Vancouver wins the cup with no losses this year, we can call that a clean sweep. And Phil Taylor, a sweep is where you win all games in a series.
Yeah. Okay. So what Phil's saying, I did the trusty old Google, GG. So okay. Before I read this out, expect a paper in 2025 from you regarding the sweep and what it means.
Curtis, because there will be no riots to clean up from. Oh man, I'm not a Vancouver fan per se, but I was so dirty at Boston that series. I was so dirty at Boston. Yeah, Andrew Egan showing some appreciation. Yeah, Curtis has a dream, Phil Taylor. Yeah. So what?
Well, Andrew's a proud Boston man. So, we need that. Curtis has got the vibe for one of our shows, I reckon. GG, just quietly.
Definitely does. Definitely does. Yeah.
So I've just typed in what is the definition of a sweep in sport, and it says here the word sweep is commonly used in North American sports such as baseball, basketball, cricket in North America, I don't know, and ice hockey, which have playoff or regular season series to describe a situation where one team wins all the games in a series, for example, with a 4-0 victory in a best-of-7 series.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's unambiguous, right? I don't know. Andrew Egan was a great time to be a hockey fan. Yeah, it must be nice being alive when your team wins the cup, right? Must be nice. Must be nice.
I reckon the rest of this show is just going to be banter back and forth in the chat from people who are viewing.
Yeah. let's. We're just going to get so angry. We're going to cause a Vancouver riot from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's if you win, you win. That's just my opinion. GG. I don't think it matters to me personally if you've got an extra point or whatever. If you win, you win. So that's just a sweep.
I mean, I can see if you're if you felt that you earned a point, you don't want that to go unrecognized as a team. So I can see from that point of view. I didn't realize how passionate some people were about semantics until you include something like that in an article, right?
Exactly.
But yeah.
Well, do you gain a point or do you lose points? That's another topic for another day.
Oh God, I don't have the bandwidth for that one, both mentally and internet-wise. We do have some chats. Jared Arp, sweep is me cutting the lawn, and clean sweep was the Sirens this weekend.
I like that comment.
Curtis Klooster, what does it feel like to win a cup? That is one of the great philosophical questions of this age. And Phil Taylor, T20 World Cup is being played in the US this year. Doogie, how could you not recognize North America as a cricketing nation? Do you know that the longest annual matches between two countries are between Canada and the United States in cricket?
No way.
That is a trivia fact for you. They've been playing a match every year. Not a very good match, but they've been playing a cricket game once a year for well over 100 years. It's been 100 since the late 1800s. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. I don't know.
So hang on. How old were you when you moved here from Canada?
73.
Serious question.
6.
So you moved here when you were 6 from Canada and grew up in Australia. How have you not represented Canada at cricket then?
How do you know I haven't?
Because Phil Taylor hasn't taken a photo of you playing cricket. That's how I know.
Look, I'll be traveling to the T20 World Cup later this year.
Well, there you go. You're the captain.
Baseball's a superior sport, anyways. Yeah, I mean the highlight for Canada was probably that. When was it? 2003 Cricket World Cup, where they had this player John Davidson who almost scored the fastest century in World Cup history, and was just a bowling machine. He would bowl 10 overs and get against the West Indies, and he got I don't know 4 wickets for 17 runs or something. The problem was every other bowler was giving up 20 and over. But they got a win in that World Cup and they scared the West Indies. They got close to beating the West Indies. So it was that was the peak for Australian cricket for me. For Canadian cricket. Curtis Klooster, baseball is the superior sport.
So GG's podcast, I was just about to say, Graham, GG's podcast, a weekly wraparound of cricket, coming out soon.
Look, we are on a scenic drive, okay? Here, Graham, we are on a scenic drive. We don't have a destination in mind. It started with clean sweeps. I don't know where we are. I don't know. We have lost the plot. Like Toronto against Boston, we have lost the plot. So.
Should we move on, GG, before we lose the audience?
Please. Heavens to Betsy, please. So we didn't actually clear that up, did we? God damn.
Not really. It just ended up being a piss take of not winning a cup in the end.